think the age of OnlyFans should be at least 21, but obviously that never changed because right now the age to sell adult content is 18 years old, and for OnlyFans to change their age, the whole law would have to change as a whole, and that's never gonna change. And since we're talking about weird behavior from OnlyFans, there's a lot of lies that goes on with just the business itself. Like,
before he gets into the lies, I have an odd take that I want to share with you guys. Actually, I don't even think that it's that odd, but I don't think any minor, any person under the age of 18 should even be allowed to create an online profile.
Welcome back to Ran-DomU. It is late and I am reviewing videos. Now, I know MTR is starting his own personal army, his whole, brigade of people, his own militia out here on the internet, which means he's essentially starting a cult. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, please, as we are trying to get them numbers up and keep them flying. One day I would like to actually make it to the MTR point. Boy, I think that'd be a decent living. Help me get up out of these slums. I'm just kidding. But he's starting his own classes. He's got followers. He's got like 1,000+ people in there. People that are paying monthly to hear his teachings, his blessings, his ways of thinking, his processing of information, the way he looks at the world. And with that, you're going to start following and doing the things the way he would look at it. And I watched him review just some, basic content the other day. So today's going to be a weird video. It's a reaction to the reaction. It's one of those, kind of cringeworthy things we put out there on the internet where it's like, damn, man, it's already not that original sometimes to do reactionary content. And then on top of that, you're reacting to the reactionary content, which really, we're just all reacting to one another, are we not? But either way, there was this other YouTuber, Kameron, who posted a video recently talking about how OnlyFans has ruined society. And quite frankly, on the surface, I think most people do agree with his assessment of that situation. Just on the title alone, I think people will actually be like, yeah, you know what? I agree with that. And you know what? MTR had some random takes at the beginning of this video, especially early on. He kind of let a lot of the video play later, but like he took some L's here. And I just personally don't understand where he's coming from. Like, I'm concerned for all these people who are trying to follow this man.
But back then, that would have been one of the most shocking things to ever hear. Another weird behavior that OnlyFans has kind of normalized is spawn camping young women.
Before he goes on to spawn camping young women, which is hilarious. Spawn camping is a hilarious term for that. I completely disagree. I don't think OnlyFans has normalized anything. In fact, I think the majority of women that do OF outside of on their Instagram or their Twitter posting, flexing with money, these chicks are well aware of the debauchery that they are engaging in, and the majority of them don't even want to be engaging with it. They're just doing it for short-term dopamine gratification. They're only doing it to live a lifestyle that the westernized culture tells them that they should be living in order for them to demonstrate success. Because outside of OnlyFans, do you really think women who are not as visual as men enjoy receiving eggplants all in their DMs? No. However, if men were to wake up in the morning and receive viscous innard after viscous innards in their DM, would they appreciate that? I think so.
First of all, hell no. I think he is standing alone. Some of y'all might want that in your phone. I don't want an endless number of coochies just popping up all over my phone. I don't want those in my photos. Somebody can't even take my phone at that point. They're like, what is this? Like, first of all, it's good and everything, guys, but it isn't something that is visually a sight to see. Have you really looked at it? Have you not seen one of those face huggers off of Alien? That's what that is. Do you really want just moderated, pictures of that all through your phone? Just different filters and all sorts of different shapes and sizes? Hell no. I don't want to look at face huggers all day. I don't.
Y'all remember when Danielle Bergoli started an OnlyFans 1 week after she turned 18 and she made $1 million within just 6 hours of it releasing? That means that
Well, she was advertising as a 17-year-old that she would be opening this OF up. She was advertising.
But I also think he's missing the point on, Cameron's just kind of speaking on the surface level on this video. It's not a whole bunch of super duper deep research. It's just base level research of some things you can find on the internet. And all it is he's just saying in general, OnlyFans seems to have made it really okay for women to just pop it open and bust it wide open on the internet. Which, yeah, they have Instagram and all these other hack pages on Twitter, and Twitter is just basically porn now. But yeah, I know that's the case, but it does feel like OnlyFans just blew up recently, in the last couple of years. It definitely happened post-COVID. So I'm just trying to figure out, now it seems like it is very normal for somebody to be like, hey, you know what? You should start an OnlyFans.
She knew exactly what she was doing. So if you're going to put the onus on men spawn camping, someone who's going to be of legal age, then why are you also not putting the onus on the women that are taking advantage of biology? The biology that men prefer younger women. This is not new. This is not an OnlyFans thing. This is not OnlyFans ruining a generation.
But once again, I mean, you know, MTR just can't help but have to put some of that blame on the woman. Like, he's blaming the 18-year-old, the fresh 18-year-old for thirst trapping old men. Like, he's really believing that all them young dudes out there paying up to $1 million in subscriptions in a couple of hours. She was being scouted by old men when she was out there on Dr. Phil. Like, dude, I mean, it is obvious that's what happened. Old dudes sat around and waited for the crack of dawn for them to go ahead and pay that subscription. They loaded up and they were probably throwing her extra money in there. And that's what happens. Wanting favors because she was technically legal, and now they wouldn't get in trouble. This lack of intuition is troubling, highly troubling. Like, I mean, look, I would look, if y'all think I'm intelligent, I will charge $5 a month for people to follow me.
Since the beginning of time, men have preferred legal younger women.
Now, I really like how he modified it to legal young women, because he did originally just say, hey, they love younger women, which we know that's kind of what the creepish thing is out there. Some guys are creepos and they really like them young and not legal, much younger. There's a whole reason the movie, you know, Sound of Freedom, even though I don't know, it might have been half hoax, half whatever, but it was a good movie. Regardless of what anybody wants to say, it was good. It's not like it's not true. I mean, people be getting snatched up out there.
That will not change. The only thing that OnlyFans does is it leverages a technology that allows the basic producer of content, such as a Bergoli, to advertise her wares.
For some grown adults out there that found Danielle Bergoli attractive as a young girl, but they wouldn't necessarily say that. So they chose their next best option, which was to wait for this young girl to turn 18. Now they can see her naked legally. Like, the concept of that being legal is just absolutely strange to me. And
I don't think my tax dollars should be utilized in order to have adults legally doing legal shit. Keep my tax dollars the goddamn hell out of it. She was 18. They were above 18. She has a service that she's providing. They are paying for a service. If there's no pedo shit happening over here, I have no problems with it.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean 45-year-old men should be sitting around waiting for midnight just so they can get their rocks off so they can go to sleep at night. Doesn't mean that's what the case should be. Like, he's pointing out the obvious. You don't make that much money. First of all, guys that age, like around her age, don't have money. They're broke, especially the ones that's chasing after her. I know the kind that's going to chase after her. And like Bad Bhabie, really, like, I mean, we know the kind of guy she's attracting. Most of them broke as hell. So no, they didn't have money like that. The people who would have money are the creepos who've been working those 9-to-5s for so long. Probably those 45 to 55 to 65-year-old men just waiting around to whack themselves to sleep at night. Those guys. Like, it's obvious, but for whatever reason, this is why I get real worried about like people following you, because like if this is the way you really think about stuff, like you constantly process and just miss the most obvious things.
whoever bought that OnlyFans once she turned 18 needs to be locked up ASAP.
Shut up, young man.
Like, I just find that insane.
Okay, so I really want to know why this bothered this man so bad. Like, why? What's pissing you off? Were you one of those guys that signed up whenever she turned 18? Were you part of that $1 million of booming money at the beginning? I mean, maybe you were part of the jumpstart. I have no idea. Right there to cut the ribbon for her OnlyFans, you know, yourself. Maybe you were there. I just want to know why this triggers you. Oh, shut up, young man. I mean, for what? For stating the obvious. What everybody already was thinking. The exact same thing he was. You're alone in this thinking process. You and your cronies out there are the only people who are probably thinking, yeah. I mean, let those men do what they want to do. Like, I mean, they were waiting for her to turn 18. They wanted to make sure they did it right. Man, bullshit. We all know those people have been hunting people at the like playgrounds for years. They're the same little troublesome guys who are just conveniently at the ballpark, you know, around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, just waiting to see when the kids arrive. Yeah. Same guy sitting at the park bench looking at the kids playing at Kids Castle. That's who he's talking about.
because there's no way that the demographic of these people buying Danielle Bregoli's OnlyFans were like maybe 18, 19, 20, 21. They had to be like 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, maybe even some 30-year-olds in there. And we know damn well that a lot of these dudes that bought this OnlyFans didn't just randomly stumble across Danielle Bregoli the day that she turned 18. These dudes most definitely found her attractive as a young girl, and they just spawn camped their way until she made this OnlyFans. Now they can see her naked legally and go ham on the meat. Like, that's crazy to me.
I think he's making shit up in order to prove his argument right here.
Intuition, homie. Intuition keeps you from dating a gold digger. Intuition can keep you from falling in love with somebody like Ninja Turtle guy. So,
based off of her fan base, the amount of followers that she has, she very well could make the amount of money that you demonstrated earlier just based off of young men within her age group. Absolutely.
I'm not really sure why he's so hung up on this idea that, like, you know, Bad Babie's audience wouldn't be a bunch of old crusty dudes.
To show pictures of 30-year-old Reddit moderator-looking men on top of that demonstrating incel, as I think is a bit off.
Says a man that believes we should bring back shaming. Quite the contrary when it comes to this. For whatever reason, it's like, oh, how you show all them old crusty, dusty, ugly-looking men out there like that. Well, you know what? Those always seem to be the guys that fit the description of Geppetto. I mean, sometimes it's a normal looking people and you're like, whoa, they had like pounds of KP on their phone. And it's like, yo, I mean, in their like living room and their office.
I think the age of OnlyFans should be at least 21, but obviously that never changed because right now the age to sell adult content is 18 years old, and for OnlyFans to change their age, the whole law would have to change as a whole, and that's never gonna change. And since we're talking about weird behavior from OnlyFans, there's a lot of lies that goes on with just the business itself. Like,
before he gets into the lies, I have an odd take that I want to share with you guys. Actually, I don't even think that it's that odd, but I don't think any minor, any person under the age of 18 should even be allowed to create an online profile.
Now, this part is completely hypocritical because I guarantee you he definitely had a MySpace or an Xanga, which me and him are like not that far apart in age. So that means, you know, he was underage. If he had any of those, bro, like in its peak.
Because as I have these talking points before about people being legal, I do agree. It is odd if there are people out there. Now, I don't think it's the majority of people that subscribe to a Bregoli.
You failing to understand this is exactly how you fell into the Ninja Turtle trap.
It is odd if there are people out there. Now, I don't think it's the majority of people that subscribe to a Bregoli.
The way you are thinking right now is how you fell into that trap. Colt. Just saying, hey, they're all in. But the other people who like listen to you, you took an L with a lot of them because some people actually respected your opinions. But I mean, when you have lack of, you know, like anticipation skills like this, you can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see any of the red flags, any of the warning signs, nothing. You don't seem to pick up on any like red flags, which is really concerning. I don't know, man. Like look, you got scarred a long time ago in some way that I don't even want to know about, because whatever it is, it sticks vividly in your mind, and it has completely warped your mind into this thinking like we must make sure that the man is right first. Dude, look, the only way you can actually get ahead on an investigation is if you actually have some intuition into like knowing things. Like, I know situational behavior. I know how this person is going to react. I know why this guy's probably doing this creepy ass shit. You know why? Because all of them do it in the same pattern. All have the same type of descriptions. You know what I'm saying? They usually are some heavy set, ugly, overweight person that is just sitting around sloppy. That.
But it is odd if there is a subset of men that are looking at 16-year-olds and they're waiting to become 18. I understand that is odd, but my thing is why do minors have social media profiles at all? It doesn't make sense to me. Kids should not be having free roam of the internet unless it's like a YouTube Kids, for example, where you can't even comment to each other.
But then again, I almost can see him being one of that one guy in high school who was just like, no, I don't do that. Like, all right. Dumbhead, what a loser.
You'll see mad girls talking about they're the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Whole time, they're 47 with 6 kids. Like, it's insane. A girl could legit be 67 years old with the saggiest yiddies of all time. But for some reason, she's in every Twitter comment section talking about I'm the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Yeah, you were the hottest girl. 51 years ago, Sharon. Hanging out. Like I said.
Funny how he didn't find that picture offensive.
Yeah, you were the hottest girl 51 years ago, Sharon, hanging out. Like I said, and even the old ass men out there that are buying these girls' OnlyFans, they're also just as disgusting, if not even more disgusting. Now, another reason why I
don't get this goddamn argument. If you are a 70-year-old guy and you like looking at firm body OnlyFans accounts, while I think you should be doing something else with your time, I am not one here to judge. You are an adult. You can make adult decisions regarding what you want to do within your life. That is your free will as a citizen of the world. Nevertheless, I don't think it's weird. I think it's more weird if you like to look at corn of older women. Saggy ass titties down to their kneecaps. Warts.
While I understand the base of MTR's argument here, what the point being is, Kameron is trying to say this. These individuals with these tendencies should have been investigated a long time ago because they were, clearly creepos before. Like, if you want to identify Geppetto behavior ahead of the curve and get ahead of the game and get these guys before they start snatching them up in their white vans, then you pay attention to this stuff. It's sort of like, that's why you go after the white van. You know why? Because they're usually in white vans. Why? I don't know, but that's like the standard vehicle for Geppettos. I mean, it's the Mach 1. It's like they don't get very many options. I mean, they don't even really change the color.
Plantar fasciitis, all types of shit all over their body. I think that is weird. Why would you not want to look at the young, spry, and attractive, low mileage? You look at a 70-year-old woman, you know more than likely that thing has been through 100+ bodies. Why? She's lived a lot of life.
But there's not much else left in this video to watch today. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you liked any of the content today, feel free to finish the videos on their channels as well if you would like. But just MTR, this overall just reminds me of a time of about, I don't know, a week ago when you were out here taking L takes and you went to self-preservation mode out here on YouTube. Just, defense take after video after video after video. And it's like, we get it. You were wrong. And dude, it's because you think like this. Like, I get trying to defend some of these things, and I know you got to stand on business out there on that channel, but I don't know, man. There's a part of me that it reeks of Hamza, and it's just, it's not good. I don't want you to end up there, especially at an advanced age. No.